everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if it's your first time here, thank you for tuning in. In today's video I'll be setting up my 2021 spreads. 2020 has been a really challenging year for everyone, and the last few months of this year have been particularly difficult for me personally. That's why I've not been posting for a while. I've still been posting on my Instagram stories a bit, but I'm so excited to finally be back making videos. I really enjoy the whole process, and making this video really has been part of my recovery. The journal I'll be using today is the Scribble and Dot A5 Monstera leaf dotted notebook. I bought this as an early Christmas present to myself. I thought I deserved a little treat, and I'm really impressed with it. I fell in love with the colour and the quality is really good. The paper is 160 GSM and crisp white, with really faint grid dots. It took me a little while to get used to it, since I'm familiar with the Leuchtturm 1917, but now I'm using it, I much prefer it. Let me know down in the comments what journal you're going to be using in the new year. I've used quite a few Crayola super tips, but only on my first decorative page. My setup is quite minimal with a simple colour palette, mostly green, grey and black, to match the colour of my journal and channel logo. I use my Tombow mono drawing pens a lot too for writing and for the majority of the line work. For some larger hand lettering I've used my Food and Asuke hardtip brush pen, as I'm still learning and improving my calligraphy. For outlining boxes I've used a fine Beryl felt tip pen that I've had for years, and for some other line work I've used a Stabilo grey fine liner. I've also used a range of simple washi tapes, mostly gridded ones and some plain coloured ones. The majority of these I've purchased on Etsy. If I can find links I'll pop them in the description box. The stationery I've used is the Staedtler Mars Micro Mechanical Pencil and Uniball Signo White Gel Pen with a broad nib, and of course a rubber and a ruler. I've also featured some stickers in my setup just to add a little decoration to my spreads. I'll pop links to them in the description box if I can find them. If anyone has any recommendations for UK based sticker shops, that would be really great. Let me know these in the comments below. I've got a lot of spreads to share with you, and I think you've waited long enough now, so let's get stuck in. To start off with, I'm just writing my name and the start date of my journal on the first page with my contact details just in case I lose my journal. I'd be pretty distraught if I'd misplaced it or left it somewhere, so this way at least there's a chance of it getting back to me. Using a sage and forest green Crayola, I'm just adding some decorations to make the page a bit more colourful. With the title page complete, I'm moving on to the first double page spread, which isn't a 2021 cover page. I wanted to include a grid spacing guide for my new journal to help make spreads quicker to design, so I split the page into halves, thirds and quarters. The next page is a little reminder of things that make me the way I am and some of the things I enjoy. I chose to use a Polaroid layout because I thought it acted as a sort of snapshot for who I am at this moment in time, including my star sign, my Myers-Briggs personality type, my bullet journal and being a proud Cornish maid. This all acted as a place for me to remind myself of the good things about me and the activities I like to do, and I really think for me personally it will help me refocus my mind when life gets a bit too much. With it being right at the front of my journal, I'll be able to access it quickly and easily, which is really handy. Do any of you follow horoscopes or taken the 16 personalities quiz? Let me know what your star signs and personality types are in the comments. You may be wondering what Cernobisvican means on that middle tile there. It's Cornish for Cornwall Forever, a phrase we say to each other on patriotic days and other events and festivals. I'm very proud of being Cornish and I wouldn't have it any other way. As some of you may know, I'm a third year student at Exeter University studying geography. I'll be starting my dissertation soon, so I'm hoping that my journal can help me stay on top of things. I may need to add a tracker somewhere for important dates or key information specifically for my final project, but I'll need to plan it out first. I'll also need to add a finance tracker to my monthly setups to keep on top of my bills and groceries when I go back into accommodation in the new year. You'll see the Polaroid on the bottom row in the middle has sea shanties written there, and yes, I am a stand for sea shanties and Cornish folk music. The two Fs stand for Fisherman's Friends, a local male band from Port Isaac in North Cornwall. They've recently turned their story to fame into a feature-length film, which I can highly recommend if you want to see some salty sea dogs make it big in London, with laughter and tears along the way. You can listen to their albums on Spotify to get a real flavour of life in Cornwall and for naval history. Lastly, we've got the gaming Polaroid. I really enjoy playing old school PlayStation games like Crash Bandicoot and Harry Potter, but I also really like the Sims franchise and Assassin's Creed. I'm currently playing through Odyssey and I really am enjoying it. Let me know if you play any console games in the comments. I'm really happy with how these spreads turned out. personality one is a nice splash of colour right at the front of my journal and something I'll be coming back to often when I refer to my grid spacing guide. The next spread I'm creating is my 2021 cover page and quote. 2020 is a year I'm pretty happy to see the back of, and I'm sure that's quite a common feeling for a lot of us. If you've had a bad year, it's okay, things will get better, and we can start that process with a clean slate in 2021. If you've had a good year, know that I'm proud of you. Just because there have been some very unusual circumstances, don't let that detract from your accomplishments. Celebrate them with pride. With this new year approaching, I wanted to start my journal off with a quote that is positive for me. I need to trust in my healing process, believe in myself and my abilities, and I need to give myself a chance to grow. Lots of people say everything happens for a reason, so I need to take that message on board and use that perspective to start feeling better. And as I've already said, making and editing this video is definitely a big part of that for me. I kept my cover page quite simple, with the moon and sun in opposite corners and just 2021 written plainly in the centre of the page. This is to remind me that even in the darkness, there is still light. I need to make a conscious effort to see the positives in all situations. All clouds have a silver lining and we can get through our dark times. The storms will pass and we will dance in the rain instead. I'm just adding some black line decorations here, using lines, dots and some sparkles just to fill the page a bit. I've also added some washi tape to the quote page as it was looking a bit bare, so I layered up some plain and gridded tapes to give a scrapbook sort of feel. The next spread I'll be creating is my future log. I'm expecting this journal to last me around 6 months if I keep on top of it, which is one of my aims this year, but I'm doing my future log for the next 12 months, so if I migrate journals halfway through the year, then I can transfer the important dates across. I've kept my future log really simple, with just green and grey. There's lots of space underneath to write important dates, as I'm not going to write down every single event I have, just big dates like birthdays, uni deadlines and countdown type of dates. I'll put more specific events in my monthly setups. Both spreads are exactly the same, so I won't make you sit through it again. The next few pages I'm creating are my 2021 goals and my Reflect Respond page. I'll be filling these out in a separate video so I can go into a bit more detail about making goals and reflecting on how 2020 went and how I can respond in 2021. I'm thinking of splitting my goals up into different categories, maybe into YouTube, uni, personal and my journal, because I want to write down and try to keep to the goals I set for myself. My journal usually takes me so long to set up because I'm such a perfectionist, so one of my goals is to make them more simple and to not get upset when I make a mistake, and instead find creative ways to fix them or cover them up. The Reflect Respond page is a chance for me to record some things I'm proud of and grateful for in 2020, and some improvements and worries I might have for 2021. These aren't necessarily negative things, it's just a place for me to get some things out so I can prove them wrong as the year goes on. The pages were looking a bit bare and too plain for my liking, so I've added some washi tape to the goals page and some wildflower stickers to my Reflect Respond page, and I'm really happy with how it looks. Moving on to the next double page spread, here I'm creating an affirmations page and a mental health tracker for the whole year to give me an overall summary. I will be including mood and mind trackers in my monthly setups too, but this will be a much more general and it can show me trends that I'm experiencing, such as if a month or week was particularly bad or if specific days are proving difficult for me. This will be really helpful for identifying when I'm feeling low or anxious so I can do something positive about it rather than getting so bad that I can't do anything. I really don't want to get to the low point I experienced at the end of October and through November. That was a really dark time for me, but hopefully I'm much better prepared for any kind of similar thoughts so I can get back on track quicker and to my normal self. I'm really hoping these affirmations will help me refocus my thinking when I'm feeling low, and they'll be a good reminder that I'm in control and that I can beat those negative thoughts myself. I've added some washi tape and a flower doodle to finish the affirmations page. My mental health tracker is just a simple year calendar with a 4-part key at the bottom to record good, okay, anxious or low days. I'll record how I feel every day after I've filled in the spreads in my monthly setups. add a little decoration, I've stuck in some rune stickers from Geek and Bear It. I've used the protection and warrior runes as I thought they were quite apt. The next double page spread I'm creating is my Themes of 2021 page. I've decided to do the whole year in this journal, so I have less to migrate over in the second journal of this year, and it'll be a nice reminder when I do a flip through video at the end of the year. This page is really simple, so when I add the themes into their boxes it doesn't look too busy. Now, moving on to the next couple of pages in my setup, I'm setting aside a couple of pages here to write down some highlights of each month and any achievements I have, no matter how small they are. I can also maybe use this space to do a goal check-in, but I may do this at the end of each month so I can see my progress and create action plans for future goals. At the end of each month, I might create a video where I complete my theme on the previous page and write down all the good things, or make a reel on Instagram to share with you all. If you're interested, you can follow my account at Gweni_Tamara for updates of behind the scenes extras of my content creation and my life here in Cornwall. Again, keeping with my theme, I've just used grey and green to add a bit of colour to my spread. As before with my future log, my monthly snapshot is the same again, so I won't make you sit through it twice. getting closer to the end of the video now and onto the last few spreads. The penultimate pages are a self-love page, which I'm going to come back to soon, along with a couple of other spreads related to mental health and self-care. I've also created a health and wellbeing tracker where I want to record my period, IBS and any exercise I do. I haven't decided on my key yet as I want to make sure it functions all together. I haven't included my IBS symptoms as I don't want it to be TMI for you. If anyone else suffers with IBS, it really can be very debilitating and it can differ for everyone, each case with different triggers and symptoms. Mine is mostly caused through stress, but I can randomly get it for what seems to be no apparent reason. There are some medications that can help, but sometimes all you can do is sit out and wait for it to go. I've only done this for one for 6 months, as it makes more sense this way, and will be a tracker I'll want to migrate into my next journal. Now we're on to the last spread of my 2021 setup. As I mentioned on the last page, I'll be filling out these 2 pages in a separate video or on my Instagram related to mental health and self-care. I think it's important to remind ourselves of why we are all amazing, individual and unique, and reasons to be proud of and love ourselves. When you suffer with depression and anxiety, this can be really hard, so I thought it would be good to put these spreads in my journal to help remind me of such things. The second page here is a place for me to write down any activities I can do when I'm feeling really overwhelmed. We've come to the end of my 2021 setup. Let me know in a comment down below if you've made it right to this point in the video, it'll be really appreciated. Thank you for spending time with me today. I really hope you've enjoyed watching me set up my new journal. I'm really happy with the pages I've created. If you've been inspired by any of my spreads and you recreate them, please tag me on Instagram at Gweni_Tamara. I'd love to see them and I'll feature you in my Instagram stories. I really am hoping this year will be much more positive and just flows a lot better. I wish you all a happy new year. Please be kind to each other and stay safe. Please like and subscribe and leave any comments down below. Don't forget to click the bell to be notified when I make a new video. For other updates and behind the scenes extras, you can follow me on Instagram at Gweni_Tamara. Thank you for watching and I'll chat with you guys next time.